Hey guys, how's it going? Well, is that a moth? Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. It is currently 1 AM and I am filming my review for the match between the Pumas and the Wallabies. I just finished the live stream and it ended in a 15-all draw, and I have to say I don't think many people picked that one. So now every team in the Tri Nations are on 6 points, and something that surprised me was the fact that we didn't get a single try in the match. I was sure that we were going to have at least one, but anyway, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Should be sleeping. Kieran's passed out in the background. He's had a big night. But anyway, this match, I have to say, it was very enjoyable to watch, even though there weren't any tries. That back and forth rugby, like within the first 6 minutes, I think we already had it as 3-all. In this match, and then it went quiet. It was a very low scoring game for a start and no one was quite able to break through. Jordan Petaia almost able to score that try, but his foot was just on the dead ball line. That was a good chance, but the Wallabies not quite able to get that. And the Wallabies, they had all the attack in the first half, other than 2 chances that the Pumas were actually able to get, the 2 penalties that they won in that first half for. But other than that, the Wallabies, they were playing attacking rugby for a start. They were going for the corner a lot of times early on. I think they had about 3 that they kicked for the corner, but weren't able to get any points on the board from them. And in the end, we were looking at, it was 9-6 at half time, and I felt like there was going to be that try in that second half, but we just didn't quite get it. But from there, a couple more penalties went the Wallabies' way, and then we were sitting at 15-6 to the Wallabies. And then from there, the Pumas scoring 3 penalties in a row, and because of that, it was then 15-all going into kind of that last 10 minutes, and I said on my live stream, whoever gets the try here is going to win this game. But we never quite got that try. In the 77th minute, Reece Hodge had a chance from about 40-something metres out, and it was well within his distance, Reece Hodge, but unfortunately just sailing away to the right a little bit. Yeah, I thought Reece Hodge was going to get that one, but unfortunately missing it. And of course, there was a missed kick for Sanchez as well, for a penalty early on in the match, which did mean that both kickers, they had a reasonably successful day, 5 from 6, but neither of them able to get that last successful kick that could have won them the game. And then from there, the Pumas tried to travel all the way up the field from a 22 dropout. It started for Argentina in the 80th minute, and then from there they were getting close to the Wallabies line, and in the end a little kick in behind just didn't quite sit well for the Pumas, and the Wallabies able to get that one. And from there, Jake Gordon picked up the ball, jumped into touch. He wasn't willing to risk it, and this game ended in that 15-all draw. But I have to say, for a game that didn't have any tries, I was still thoroughly entertained throughout. And I just know that now, for the Tri Nations, it's just anyone's game, and I think that is exactly what we need. We don't want it to be a runaway to one team, and at this stage, you know, every point counts going into these last couple games. And at the moment, the Pumas are almost sitting as the favourites because of the chance, because of the fact that they have got those 2 games instead of the 1. Like, yeah, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. But hopefully we are in for some good games in the future. But I haven't really talked too much about the stats yet in this match, so I will get into that right now. So one huge number that stands out to me is the metres carried. The Wallabies having 418 to the Pumas 163. Like the Wallabies, like I said in that first half, they were going for the line, but they just couldn't quite get there. And then, yeah, kicking for the corner, but not able to turn that into points. Payanga Amosa, unfortunately, didn't have the best day for the lineouts. But then there was a very interesting event that occurred in the first half, we'll say. And that was Nicolas Sanchez deciding he would slap Tanela Tupou. And I don't know what he expected to happen, but luckily it didn't end terribly for him. He got thrown backwards by Harry Wilson, but Tanela Tupou, he could have thrown him a long way if he wanted to. And you gotta say, you gotta give him credit for his bravery, or you gotta, yeah, it's just, Tanela Tupou, the 135 kg man, is not the one that you want to be trying to pick a fight with. And there were a few fights that almost occurred in this match. One player who was extremely fired up was the number 5 for Argentina, and that was Alemano. And he was not happy at times. He was slapping hands down left, right and centre when they were trying to grab him. But there was quite a bit of push and shove once again in this match, and one of those situations ended up with the Wallabies. They had a scrum and then it turned into a penalty. Now that I think about it, that was the Sanchez one, that Nicolas Sanchez slapped Tupou in the face. So because of that, the penalty, or the scrum, then became a penalty, and I think the Wallabies were able to get 3 points from that, if I'm not wrong. I could be. I have to be honest, the first half, other than the fact that it was a dominant Wallabies performance, but they just weren't able to score, I can't remember much of. The chat in the live stream was just going absolutely insane most of this game, which is why my voice sounds like it's been run over by a truck at the moment. But yeah, that is also why Kieran is asleep, but he sleeps with his eyes open because why not? You know, he's always got to keep an eye on anything that happens, just in case, you know, someone could be trying to pop him or something. I don't know what I'm on about. It's currently 1:15. I should be asleep, but instead I am making this video for you guys. But another stat that I want to talk about is the carries as well. 108 for the Wallabies, 63 for Argentina. So they just had all of the ball, the Wallabies. And you have to say, Argentina did extremely well with their defence once again. They were able to stop pretty much everything that the Wallabies were chucking at them. There was also a moment in that first half where it was a forward pass. It was a forward pass from Tom Banks out to, if I'm not wrong, it was Marika Koroibete on that left wing, and yeah, it was close, but unfortunately because of that forward pass, another try disallowed. So Australia, the times that they were getting through, they were just getting disallowed. Either they had their foot on the dead ball line or it was a forward pass leading up to it. So they had a couple disallowed, which in a way was slightly what cost them. If that pass had found Koroibete and it had gone backwards, could have been a try. And if that ball, if Jordan Patai hadn't had his foot on the line, could have been possibly a try as well. But then Argentina also having a couple chances, of course. I mentioned that kick from Sanchez that managed to miss. But then, yeah, it's just also the line out for them wasn't going well. It wasn't a good day to be a number 2 out on that field. Definitely because of the fact that it was raining as well, and you could tell that it just wasn't an ideal situation for the conditions for those players. But then another thing that was interesting for me was the fact that it was Gonzalo Bertrano who was actually starting the match instead of Kubeli. It was a last minute change. And then something else that happened was Juan Imhoff. He got injured pretty early on. It meant that Emiliano Boffelli had to come on the field early. So a couple changes in that Argentine side early on did not help them out. But yeah, I just enjoyed the match, to be honest. The tackles I'm going to have a look at now. But yeah, the tackles, Argentina making about 1.5 times the tackles of 115 to 67. Missed tackles only 16 compared to the 13 of the Wallabies. So not too bad in that regard. So they were making their tackles. It's just they had to keep making them, because Australia just kept throwing it at them. Definitely in that first half, the kicking game for the Wallabies in that first half was working very well, I found. It was just they were forcing Argentina back into their own area. Argentina kicking back to halfway. They were clearing well, Argentina, but then the Wallabies just got to keep on attacking and attacking and attacking, was what I said throughout the live stream. It's just attack, attack, attack. And that is exactly what they were doing, but they just weren't able to turn it into too many points, other than a couple penalties. So I've just looked at some more stats, and lineouts won for the Wallabies was 18. We had, and then if you count Argentina's lineouts, we had 24 lineouts throughout this match. That's a huge number of lineouts, but it just showed like how under pressure Argentina were in that first half. But they still managed to only be going into half time 3 points down, and then they fought back to that 15-all. And it did end up as a draw, of course. So penalties conceded was very even as well. 12 to 11, Argentina having the 12. And there was only one yellow card, and that was to Julian Montoya, who managed to get that one, although he was probably lucky not to get one earlier, because he did like full on hang on to the ball when the Wallabies were 5 metres out from Argentina's line. He just wasn't giving that ball up. That White was trying his best to rip it away, but it just wasn't happening for him. So because of that, it was actually another penalty for not releasing the player, that Montoya ended up getting that penalty. I feel like I say his last name wrong, so let me know if I am. But yeah, so only one yellow card, which once again, Australia, they had so many chances to take threes, but they didn't want to. They wanted to go for the corner. And I feel like that was purely based on the fact that Argentina, against the All Blacks, they were able to get 18 points from penalties. So I think the Wallabies were working on the theory that penalty for penalty, they weren't going to be able to match them. So they needed those 7 points. But yeah, I am excited for these next matches now. I'll be honest. It's going to be some pretty... I think we're going to get a couple more close games, to be honest. I don't see anyone running away with it. And that's what's going to make the Tri Nations, these last couple games, so great, because of the fact that we're not going to see one team completely dominate it. I think it's going to be extremely close, and I am extremely excited for it. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video. It's just a short little preview. No, it's not. It's just a short little review of the match. I don't think I covered all the points that I would have liked to, but my brain doesn't work after like 12, so you have to excuse me for that. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we are getting closer every single day. So if you want to help out, please do. But anyway, I will see you all in the next one.